I want to share a story with you of how greed can be very expensive and how when enough is not enough, I lost a fortune. I lost almost everything. So back in 2018, just before legalization in Canada, the cannabis sector was booming. They had bright future. People was talking about a huge global market. The market in Canada was like full. It's like Wild West. It was just buy and wait, and money will come right into your pocket. And so I was looking at a certain company. It was called Afria, and I did some little research, and everything looks very, very, very promising. Solid foundation. The management was like Vic Neufeld. He was like the perfect CEO. Of course, nobody was a CEO of a cannabis company before, but he was the closest thing. He turned a supplement company into an empire. So he knows how to grow a business. He knows that market. He knows the pharma. He has friends in Shoppers Drug Mart. All the check, he has them. Plus, he came from a very humble family. They call him the peach boy, I think, the peach farm boy, because he came from and I have a sweet spot for that because I came from the same. He was an accountant, so he's a numbers person, conservative, all those factors lining up, and this company has a great kind of foundation of global marketing infrastructure. Every day there was another medical research study that was published about another benefit that wasn't known before, and this company just signed a contract with every province in Ontario. The sky is the limit. This is a clear winner. So I bought the shares of the company. I wait few weeks. It dropped. It seems like a great price, and I bought it, and sure enough, the price started going up. And like everybody was saying, it was going up. I think I bought it around, it was maybe $14, $15. It started going up and up and up. And at a certain point, it got to $21. I had a nice profit. And I could just sell and be super happy about being smart and buy it. But all those stories about people who was like smarter than me and bought it when it was just like $1 just a year before, and I'm like, that's not enough. Everybody was talking about, soon, in no time, in weeks, maybe months, but it will come. It should go to 25, it should go to 30. People were talking about 50, people were talking about like crazy numbers. And I said to myself, let's wait a little bit. Let's not be greedy. When it reached 25, then I will say, I won't ask for more. I won't ask for the 50, 25 is good enough. And then on top of that, just before the legalization, they were talking about the big whales circling around, the big Coca-Cola, the big tobacco company. They want a part, the big tobacco company, the CEO, one of the big managers in Afria was actually previously working for a big tobacco company, for a big alcohol company. So everybody was like speculating. He wasn't just hired, he was planted by those big giant alcohol company. So they have the inside information. A deal is just around the corner. Not only that, near Leamington, in the office of the company, one weekend I remember one of the investors, smart guy, found that in the local airport a private jet landed, and he took a photo of the tail, of the number, and he found out that that's one of the biggest tobacco company, and boom, this is happening. They are talking. You don't want to be the stupid who just like sold his share minutes, days, hours before a big deal is happening. And when a big deal like that happening, there is no doubt the stock value of this company is going to shoot to the moon. So I decided to wait till it would get to 25. And I was waiting. And it didn't get to 25. Actually, it will start going down. A little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, don't panic. At a certain point, it was like level. I wasn't even making any money anymore. It was back to the price I bought it. And I said, patient. Patient is the name of the game. Don't panic like the herd. Don't put any stop limits, because this cannabis sector is fluctuate every day so much. So those smart guys who benefiting from every time it goes up and every time it goes down, they want to shake the weak hands, and you don't want to be one of those. So I didn't put any stop limits, although it was recommended in every single article that I read, always put a stop limit, but I don't want to be that stupid. And my ego is like, I don't want to sell now when it's a little bit in a loss. I will wait until it goes up. I have time, don't worry. So I didn't sell. And it didn't continue dropping a little bit, because one day it dropped really, really bad down. That's after legalization. One day a short seller report comes out accusing Afria of buying useless, paying tons of money of buying useless assets in Latin America. Now this report comes from a short seller company. Obviously their greed motivated that report. They didn't say it was a bad deal. They sent a reporter to Jamaica, for example, to an address where Afria was supposed to hold asset that was bought for millions, and a picture, a photo of a field, an empty field, was saying, you see, that's what they paid millions for. It's all bullshit. It's not, the company is about to be bankrupt. The only little thing was that this reporter kind of seems to be not very great using his GPS, and he was taking a photo of the address just beside. But by the time people went and investigated and find out that this was all bullshit and the address exists, it was too late. Those greedy, corrupted people from the short seller report made their millions, billions already, and people like me paid for that. But they were smart enough. It wasn't completely fake, because what turns out to be is that my beloved Vic, the peach farm boy, was actually a corrupted, dishonest person who actually inflated the price of those assets and bought it as a CEO, basically paid him and his friends that established another company and basically put money in his pocket and paid too much for those assets. And in many ways, the share of this company never completely recover from that action. He already stepped down. He already forced to resign. He is already a big kind of no, but he made his money. So the management was corrupted and greedy. The short sellers were greedy. And I was greedy not to sell it on time. And this is a big lesson for me. And this is, I think, a big lesson for each and one of us. When enough is not enough, you sometimes pay a fortune. If I was just humble enough and smart enough to say, you know what? I'm happy with what I got. It's more than enough. Let's sell it and look for the next opportunity. But no, the greed of someone else is gonna make more. I shouldn't be the one who was the idiot to sell just before it goes up, prevent me from making the right decision, and I paid a hefty price for being too greedy. So not being too greedy is sometimes the best recipe to accumulate more, get more. This is not just in business. This is just a general thing in life. But in this case, the cannabis stock of Afria is a huge lesson for me of why enough should be enough and why not to try more and more and more. Sometimes one meal, sometimes one dessert is enough. Sometimes you need to know when to get out. Adios. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this beauty. Ooh.